Prime Minister in Australia on first official visit. Strong words to health to step up.
You want a job, make this sort of thing happen.
As relief ready for Manam Islanders.
This is the National Emtv News with Meribah Tulo.
A very good evening. Thank you for joining us. This is Sunday's news. Prime Minister James Marape travelled to Australia today for his first official visit as the nation's Prime Minister. He is expected to meet with Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison to discuss bilateral relations. Mr. Marape also confirming that Manus will be one of the main discussions with Mr. Morrison.
Justice as to his view towards...
This is Mr. Marape's first official state visit outside of PNG since becoming Prime Minister.
Heads of our respective governments, and Australia remains our closest partner in bilateral exchanges. Australia remains our biggest partner in terms of bilateral dialogues and reciprocal help between nations to nations. Australia has maintained its #1 placing in foreign relations with us thus far.
The Prime Minister, state ministers and selected governors will be in Australia to hold bilateral meetings with their counterparts.
To set the pace for the way PNG and Australia must relate going into the 2020s. And so he's looking forward to receiving me. I'm looking forward to visiting him. I will also be taking a few governors to sub-regional levels where the state relates to federal. We will see the context of how state and federal governments relate in Australia. And I am modeling an idea where our provinces become economies and they're generating revenues. So I'm taking governors and few governors with me to have a look at provincial governments becoming microeconomies instead of being just dependent on working for handouts.
Amongst discussions will be the Manus Asylum Centre, the refugee centre always under the spotlight for human rights issues, and the multi-billion Kina contract given for the running of the centre.
Agendas and issues for discussion. Manus Asylum Seeker has been an issue that has been quite hot in many levels of discussions, and at the highest level we will discuss on this issue. I put to the Honourable Peter Dutton, who was here in country early this week, that we're looking at closer in the Manus Asylum Seeker arrangements, and exactly what form and shape the closure will take place and exactly when it will eventuate is something that both sides of the Torres Strait must agree to, and there will be an issue that Prime Minister Morrison and myself will discuss.
Just recently, an Australian Green Senate was deported from Manus after trying to have a look at the centre. While the Prime Minister has stated he wasn't aware of the incident, he stated that Manus should be open for public scrutiny.
Refugees and non-genuine refugees, so they've classified them into these two groups, and they're in the process of settling them, and we will be pressed to them that we need to have a closer to it, and we need to have a timetable working towards it closer. So if there are any more instances of secrecy in Manus, then under my watch there will not be. The Manus should be totally open for scrutiny. Anyone, we're dealing with human beings here, and we need to be transparent about this matter.
Adelaide Sirokskari, National Emtv News.
With the radiation bill passed by Parliament, the Prime Minister was questioned on whether the radiation equipment will be brought into the country anytime soon. Prime Minister Marape responding that cancer treatment services should be given, including radiotherapy, and asked the Health Department to step up.
It's all about getting the right resources in, and I've visited the Lay Cancer Unit, and they're undergoing refurbishment and maintenance at the moment. And so part of our issue will be ensuring that our current level of services are maintained or improved as we embark on new programs going into the future. Health Department, there's an urgent response for you to respond to whoever is Health Secretary and Planning Secretary and Finance Secretary, make this happen, and I'm trying this back to them now. Prime Minister cannot be attending to everything. You want a job, make this sort of thing happen.
Research from the PNG Institute of Medical Research reveals that 1 in 10 deaths in the country are due to cancer. From the World Health Organization's research, it shows that 1 in 3 cancer cases are preventable by simply choosing a healthier lifestyle. PNG Cancer Foundation's Healthy Teens program aims to help teens understand and choose a healthy lifestyle. They recently visited Papa and Lea primary schools.
Over 150 students of both Papa and Lea primary schools participated in PNG Cancer Foundation's Healthy Teens School program. This program aims to educate teenage girls and boys on how to protect their future from cancer by making healthy lifestyle choices today as a way to reduce their cancer risk. The presentation also highlights that cancer-causing chemicals found in cigarettes can have negative impacts on the body.
Chew bitter nuts, and some of the small ones, they do also take alcohol. I believe that they'll learn, change so many things.
They will not take these abusive drugs that will spoil their health. But what they should do is they have to eat healthy food.
Foundation brand ambassador and co-captain of Hekari Football Club, David Muta, shared his journey in football, emphasizing the importance of having a balanced diet and regular physical activity in order to maintain good health. The students learned a lot, and here is what a few of them had to say.
Steam and marijuana, it affects your cells in the body, as it will develop to make you have cancer.
I learned more about cancer, and I have to go and tell my family members or relatives to know about.
If you chew bitter nut a lot, it can cause mouth cancer. Thank you.
The PNG Cancer Foundation, in partnership with ExxonMobil, aim to reach another 3,000 students by the end of this year through this program on the importance of making healthy lifestyle choices. Lilian Sopera-Kinea, National, Emtv News.
The PNG government has approved and intends to stick to the timeline extension of 6 weeks for the Bougainville referendum enrollment and voting. This was the advice given to the Marape-Stephen government by the Bougainville Referendum Commission as a request based on a need for further consultation, especially for Bougainvillians living in other parts of the country and those residing abroad.
The tidying up and updating of the common role requires giving a fair process for everyone's involvement in the referendum. Prime Minister James Marape says the government will stick to the intention made in the 2001 agreement to honor the anticipated referendum in 2019.
We will honor their request, and I intend to stick to the timeline and get them to get to voting. Whatever the outcome of voting is, I can't preempt the voting, but we will stick to our intended intention of 2001 peace agreement to honor a referendum in 2019, and that will take place this year.
As part of the lead-up, a planned visit is underway for Marape and his cabinet to visit the autonomous region of Bougainville for a reconciliation program with the families of those who had passed during the crisis in the region.
As part of lead-up, and then the writs will be issued. Campaign will start. Of course, I will go to Bougainville and re-campaign for a united Papua New Guinea, but everyone is open to also have their bid. There's two questions. Question is for either independence or a greater autonomy.
Marape says it's time where PNG must sustain them during this important and sensitive phase in time.
But these are Bougainvilleans have been living with a lot of scar. We got to understand them in totality, and we are very sensitive of the issues they go through. They are a special group of people. They've sustained our country in the 70s and 80s through Panguna Mine.
He says that there is a level of mistrust built over a period of time which has made the people of Bougainville feel like PNG has abandoned them, but adds that there is still a long way to go to maximize the trust capital between the people of Bougainville and Papua New Guinea to move forward and further into the future. Annette Cora, National Emtv News.
The first load of relief supplies is ready to be delivered to the affected Manam Islanders using PNGDF's HMPNGS Lakekamu vessel. The Manam operation was done through a joint partnership agreement with the National Disaster Office and the Madang Provincial Government. Major Joshua Dopa, who is heading the operation, says the vessel has already been loaded and ready to depart on Tuesday noon due to the LLG elections.
The PNG Defence Force HMPNG's Lake Kamu will leave Meding Port on Tuesday noon for Manam Island. The vessel was loaded with food supplies including rice bales, tin fish, noodles and oil, as well as tents, canvases and water bottles. The first load of supplies will be delivered to the first 7 villages that are badly affected.
On Tuesday to start deliver to the first 7 villages. First 7 villages in Manam. They are the most affected ones. The first 4 are the village in Dangale in Ward 2, Kuluguma in Ward 13, Yasa in Ward 12, and Boda in Ward 14. Also will be dropping off supplies at Baliao, at Warisi, and then the last one will be at Abaria.
The turnover time for the vessel will be 72 hours. This is to go in line with the Meding provincial government's plan to get all relief supplies right to the people, due to past instances where supplies sent to the affected islanders have gone missing.
To make sure that we get the right returns. We get the right returns back to the provincial government.
The PNG Defence Force personnel will also be bringing along forms that will be countersigned by the village elders and personnel to make sure villagers get their rations. The Meding provincial government put in 500,000 kina towards the operation, including business houses.
Papindo, Snovex, Gia, Tasty in Mosby, they have sent some toys and some little things for the little kids. Those will be also distributed. And then, of course, Red Cross, in partnership with the National Disaster Center, they have also sent us a number of stuff or items to be delivered, including tents, canvas, blankets, water containers.
The supplies are estimated to last for at least a month whilst waiting for the national government funds to be released, so another food rations will be organized for the islanders. For now, the PNG Defence Force is on the ground to assist the Meding provincial government and the national government to deliver the basic needs to the people of Manam. Martha Louise, National Emtv News, Meding.
You're watching National Emtv News this Sunday. We'll have more of the day stories when we come back. Welcome back to the news. Over 20 students from the University of Papua New Guinea took part in a week-long project called Pacific Propulsion. This project is a partnership between an Australian movement called Power to Change and Great Commission Movement's PNG, both under what was formerly known as Campus Crusade for Christ. This movement focuses on helping university students know God better through evangelism and discipleship through its university student life.
Over 20 students from the University of Papua New Guinea, joined by their friends from Australian universities, participated in Pacific Propulsion 2019. This week-long program is a training that gives opportunities for the students to learn different ways of making the movement on their campus more effective.
Is always trying to reach out and spread the gospel, because that was God's last commandment to us, and it is the greatest form of worship we can give back to Him, show Him. That is growing in Him, being in relationship with Him, sharing His word also.
This initiative is part of Great Commission Movement PNG's university ministry known as Student Life. With an aim in fulfilling the Great Commission, Student Life works with students on the university campus, in PNG and globally, to help students understand what it means to not only be a Christian, but to be a true follower of Christ.
We want to leave a legacy behind on campus where every student who come to the university would know God personally and grow in their walk with God.
Daniel Rudge has been on staff with Power to Change in Australia for the last 9 years, working with Student Life. This was his first time to lead a team of 5 university students to PNG.
How open people are to talk about spiritual things. Anybody I talked to was willing to talk to me and hear about where I came from, but also when I asked them what they believe, they were very open to tell me and wanted to hear what I believe too.
After the team from Australia leaves, the 20-plus students and the PNG team have a big task ahead of them as they continue the mission on the university campus to help more students understand God's plan for their life.
We want to see our students graduating at the university with a degree on one hand and the ministry skills on the other hand. So wherever they would be in the future, in the career, they will still have that DNA to evangelize, to disciple, and to multiply themselves. And we would like to see godly men and women who will become leaders of this beautiful nation of Papua New Guinea.
Lilian Sopera Kinea, National MTV News.
During a law and order summit recently, NCD Metropolitan Superintendent Pero Drano said there are a lot of factors that influence crime in the country. He added that the effect of crime reflects what PNG is like to the rest of the world. Michelle Stephen with the details.
Let's ask ourselves those strategic.
While reports of violence and crime are increasing in Papua New Guinea, only little is done to help stop it. NCD Metropolitan Superintendent Pero Drano during the summit says the way forward to what NCD and any other police need is getting the basic foundation and policing system corrected. Like any other organization, the police department has its own issues as well. Crime is not only caused by the local public, but by police officers as well. The Metsub says after receiving numerous complaints about police officers doing illegal activities in NCD, a team was set up in October last year to arrest police officers who haven't followed their code of conduct. Mr. Drano says policing the police team has so far arrested 61 police officers. The challenge now is that out of the 15 police units in NCD, only one police unit is being assessed under the team. Mr. Drano said the NCD police also need proper management tools.
Many of you will be surprised. Let me tell you the fact. At present day, today, I still use pen and paper to write, to send documents to my unit. While many of our organizations in the country has advanced, we're still performing like we did when we got independence. We need different system to assist. And let me put it on record here. I put a concept up to various organizations to assist me. No one wanted to help.
The Metsub says the police department needs a system that can help them generate better reports and make it user-friendly for police officers to complete their task. Mr. Jonas says currently they have a software program under the management tool that can help a police officer solve for cases of family and sexual violence in a day. With lack of investment in the police department, there are not enough resources available to carry out a day's work. Mr. Jonas says it is up to individuals, parents and the community to set the right foundation for a safer Papua New Guinea.
The crime is not created by some invisible force, but by physical human being. They are there now, today, because they are conditioned to do that. We need to change. We need to stand up and start getting our children on the table, sitting them down, telling them how to eat, how to respect elders. Then maybe we have a future generation. Otherwise, with what is happening, it's going to get worse.
Michelle Stephen, National MTV News.
Gateway Hotel, part of the Coral Sea group of hotels in the nation's capital, has opened its newly refurbished rooms to its clients. In a small opening ceremony on Friday, clients were taken to each room to have a feel of the new rooms. Gateway Hotel resident manager Leo Morgan said they are spending money to make sure their guests have a great stay in their hotel.
The small ceremony at the Gateway Hotel poolside saw all clients of Gateway Hotel all present. Clients were taken to each rooms to see the newly refurbished rooms. The refurbished rooms includes the deluxe suites and premier rooms.
Fully refurbished, new wardrobes, new bed heads, new desks, and the rooms are looking really good. And I'm really excited about what it's going to offer to Coral Sea Hotels customers moving forward.
Gateway Hotel is part of the Coral Sea group of hotels and is one of the oldest hotels in the city. According to resident manager Lee Morgan, many rooms are old and needs renovation. The renovation project started last year and cost the hotel over 2 million kina.
You know, we've done a lot at Gateway, but from 2016 to now, we opened Jackson's, Sizzlers, Enzo's, Wild Orchid, it's the place is it become a food and beverage mecca, and I think it's a lot of all the Port Moresby culture love it, and they're here all the time. So it's become a huge success.
Apart from renovating the rooms, they have installed kids' playground for families living at their apartments. They are also planning to renovate their apartments starting next year.
We're doing a lot of projects in the hotel. So apart from the rooms at the moment, we're installing a brand new kids' playground up at the apartment pool so families can feel comfortable when they're staying in our apartments. We're about to refurbish our apartments as well. So we're going to start with our executive apartments. There are 3-bedroom apartments, new furniture, new paint, fully fresh and nice new look in the apartment.
As a group, the Coral Sea hotels have been doing major renovations to most of their hotels. Mr. Morgan says there are some renovation work at Ella Beach Hotel and Grand Papua Hotel in the nation's capital, as well as a new hotel in Mount Again and Kiunga.
Work's happening all over the country. Ella Beach is also getting some new work done this year as well. So we're spending money to make sure that our guests actually really have a great time when they stay in one of our hotels.
Rayon Lakingu National, MTV News.
Isiu Village in the Kairoku district recently held its second SME development workshop, facilitated by Francis Stephen, Director of Ecotourism Consultancy Services. The workshop educated around 300 participants from within the village based on good governance and SME benefits.
The second SME workshop held in Isiu Village has brought together business-minded individuals and those willing to learn a thing or two in SME and associated benefits. From the 300 participants, many have been encouraged to venture into other areas of SME, particularly in the agriculture sector, such as farming, where the village has already started growing rice, ecotourism, adventure, agri-tourism, hotel services, and many others.
And people are aware of what is SME as a policy to drive their dreams and ambition to a standard that is expected. You can see where the business spin-off is here. The people are trying to learn more about SME and participate.
He says SME and good governance is the way forward.
From agriculture, trade store, informal markets, education, piggery, poultry, transport, guest house, and sawmill. Not forgetting arts and craft and a dancing group.
Apart from SME developments in Isiu Village, tourism is one key area that have been recognized by the villagers who are willing to attract tourists by starting up a cultural festival to showcase their diverse culture and traditions.
After the APEC meeting, there was all the talks about improving the standard of living, alleviating poverty and all this stuff. So we have started, and then it's the 1 month, 2 weeks from now in Isiu Village. We have conducted awareness and training on SME good governance and majoring tourism and agriculture.
Godwin Eki, National MTV News.
The Eastern Highlands Provincial Government recently signed a Memorandum of Understanding with a Japanese company, MG Corporation, which specializes in various project developments from agriculture, infrastructure, health, education, science, research and other industries. EHP Governor Peter Numu welcomed investors into the province to help not only develop the land, but also educate its human resource in various areas.
The signing of the MOU with MG Corporation now paves the way forward for Eastern Highlands to focus on agriculture and invest in protecting, growing and producing quality organic coffee.
To develop the province or country, no man is an island. We have to create good relation in terms of business investment, bilateral, multilateral relation with other countries. MG Corporation has a lot of network of market outside Japan and outside as well. So for them to work with the provincial government, it's like they are opening the doors for my province to export coffee.
I would say that this is a great opportunity, and for this past 12 years I was looking for the partner, a genuine partner, a trustable partner with innovative ideas. And today I'm proud to say that finally I got a partner with whom I can officially sign an agreement.
Agriculture development in the province is something the provincial government is looking to invest in.
How to manage or produce a quality coffee that can meet the standard and requirement of the international market. The MG Corporation will assist all throughout the districts to make sure that the quality that is required of the market outside, we must meet that standard. And that is where partnership comes into play.
Kishore says other development activities such as research on soil and coffee trees are just some of the basics that's needed to be understood.
Main thing is promoting the PNG coffee into the Japanese market, and we had been already doing this for past 6 years. As you all may know, Japanese market is the most difficult market to get into.
Kishore says the key to success is innovation.
So the key for success is innovation. And as you know, Japan is very, very advanced in terms of technology and also in agriculture. We don't have the fundamental knowledge, and at the same time, we have less connections with foreign countries.
Godwin Eki, National MTV News.
You're watching National MTV News this Sunday. We go for a break. When we come back, a closer look. Welcome back to the news. Roads and coffee production are inseparable. Each is dependent on the other. This week's A Closer Look, we go to Eastern Highlands and Jiwaka, where the Coffee Industry Corporation is taking on additional responsibilities of building roads. It is about bringing results.
Coffee is Papua New Guinea's second biggest export. It brings in about 1 billion kina every year. The country's total coffee exports between 2017 and 2018 stood at around 800,000 bags. It's a figure that the national government says should be doubled. At every agriculture conference, the participants talk about the potential for Papua New Guinea to become one of the leaders in coffee production. And every time the same obstacles are highlighted. Those obstacles are bad roads and lack of access to coffee growing areas. It's an ongoing problem that hasn't quite been resolved yet. It is with that in mind that the Coffee Industry Corporation, through what's called the Productive Partnerships in Agriculture Project, or PPAP, took a radical approach in coffee management and growth facilitation. The PPAP project manager, Potaisa Hombunaka, has been in the business for more than 20 years. And he says coffee production and roads are inseparable.
So you ask him, man lo place, you go lo place lo backside, and you ask him, what is your wish for tomorrow? What is your wish? His or her wish will tell you that I want to wake up tomorrow morning. Me like tomorrow morning na kalab long kwambla 2-wheel car na roni ko lo town and me come back. Road infrastructure and big plus something long all people in the place. Yes, Kamani talk about me walk the demand na increase in coffee production or cocoa production or one kind of production. This plaba ino now come up until Biblai address him walk long road. Or coffee me pull up lo push stuff. But long walk lo karim sila coffee come outside and me hard.
Me feeling also. Priority now all government give him ya. All give him love. Kind something. Government all the all buy materials belong online. Na give him all money go ya. Na what priority lo me at them all members na government priority lo all must put him lo road. Na road now all man by current produce go lo market sigman merimba go all school mangi ole have access go na emol big plus am priority masikulo road post beyond I think second meeting emolsem health and then education that's all priority blow government clear to mas lo mi personal meeting only put the money long ad hoc basis lo I'm a massive man. That's an actual benefit.
Over the last 3 years, the Coffee Industry Corporation, through the donor-funded PPAP, has been encouraging increases in coffee production by building roads into coffee production areas in 9 provinces. This radical approach has seen a dramatic shift in how coffee is produced and the prices paid to local farmers.
Coffee or some like cash crops in Eastern Arens, na Eastern Arens province. You mean wambla gold or copper or petrol or oil? No God. This black gold or oil or this is something here. Represented by coffee taso. Coffee wambla cash crop lo yumi we yumi kisim in Eastern Arens. Yumi kisim lo this la coffee taso nana. Buy school fee. Working me heavy work, party or buy Mary, coffee taso, coffee alone. Inoga nalpa something. Or something we plug sim go. Mosem lili. Kind of some potato, kind of some cabbage, carrot me pla, or some growing lo garden. Inoga market, inoga scale or arera road here. Now you're talking about a coffee. Coffee scale em style lo house do I come body come stablo road em stop here go katalo goroka. So coffee number one something.
In Nombia, in the Obura Waninara district, a 5-kilometer road has opened up coffee-rich areas that were once cut off. This is perhaps the biggest impact project the people have had in more than a decade. But this road isn't just for coffee. It is allowing for people to improve their way of life using the money they can make from coffee.
People kissing good money. Look at this money, I'm helping me. Lo buy him clothes, lo meri pikinini. Buy him car. Na school fee lo pikinini and big something. Me play looking mo some coffee help him play. Market kai one inogat lot and me play no sakari market kai ko coffee taso is help me play. School fee clothes.
Time me play walk about. Morning 6 o'clock me play salusim baira. Karim coffee, karim pikinini. Mi pesa walk about they come some the time rain. Sun mi pesa come like hand tight, mi ta come sleep lo bus. Next day mi pesa walk about, come up lo Nombia. Come up lo Nombia, kisim car go lo town. Lo town e mi pesa shopping. Car kisi mi pla come dropping mi pla ken lo Nombia. Lo Nombia mi pla walk about you go. Sleep ken lo bus. Mi pesa walk about you go ken lo baira.
A 5-kilometer road determines if a woman in labor can go to hospital in time or if a village can make additional revenue.
All in the place, all mama, lo looking more, all yamas, now all tears, long road you go because also peeling pen, long time all like I'm house, all the pine, all beginning go to school, all this all issues, the social aspect of it, apart from economic. Road, I mean, play important something where government play me. You must look. Yes, must be good road stop that's all. Look at the people in the stable place.
In Jiwaka, another 5-kilometer road in the Nondugal local level government area is encouraging farmers to rehabilitate old coffee plantations. It's ensuring that the women are among the biggest beneficiaries in the growth of coffee production.
We got big plant ground, now we got big plant coffee. Stop also time we play picking now, time we play salim. I'm sa outlo mibla. Na mibla sawe speaking na training na type up le mibla stop close to ya em call bamba stop em sa sali one says na mibla tinto lo karim go mibla sa filimat na mibla sa kirab lo tribe la night na mibla sa stop go too late close to too late mibla sa wo ba di go antap la no do kulem too late sa kama.
Here with Sunday's news, Trukai Sports is up next. We'll be back with all the details. Stay tuned.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. To Rugby League, and the SPPNG Hunters drew 38-all with East Tigers from yesterday's Intra-Super Cup Round 18 match at Ipos Oval in Enga Province. It was a tough game with more than 10,000 fans and supporters cheering for both teams from the start to the end of the match. Vasinatayama sent this report in from Wabeg.
Just 1 minute into the first half and PNG Hunters hooker Woods Kawage put a first try, but Hunters missed the conversion. 12 minutes later, East Tigers winger Gerard McKinley put the first runaway try. Conversion successful, bringing Tigers to 6 and Hunters 4. Hunters captain Moses Maninga's giveaway run and pass to Justin Yorker got them another try with a missed conversion kick. East Tigers dominated the first half of the game with 4 tries and all conversion kicks in, making them leading with 24 and Hunters 16.
Disappointing result in the end. We started well, I thought, after we got back after they scored first, and we had a 12-point lead on them, and the momentum changed in second half, and full credit to the Hunters. They were coming at us. And
in the second half, PNG Hunters winger Brendan Gotuno broke the defense and scored Hunters a try with a missed conversion kick. Hunters pulled the game and Enoch Maki scored another winning try, but Hunters lost another conversion. A penalty by East Tigers in the second half pushed them up to 32 and Hunters 20. Hunters came strong with Terry Wapi scoring another try, with Ase Boas scoring their first conversion kick. Boas then managed to break the Tigers' defense and also got the conversion kick. Hunters got a penalty kick, making them lead with 38-32.
And second half we got back into the game. It went right down to the wire. So we missed one kick that could have turned the game around. But
few minutes before full time, and East Tigers scored another try with a conversion kick in, got them 38 draw with PNG Hunters. It was a tough match but fun one with fans and supporters cheering both teams. Vasinatayama, National Emtv Sports, Wabeg.
Don't go away, Trukai Sports will continue with more after these messages.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. To some sport abroad, and the Silver Ferns World Cup hopes rest on a semi-final clash with England, a team they haven't beaten for over 2 years. And while England are also Commonwealth champions and have home advantage, a former Ferns coach believes the Kiwis have rediscovered their magic and will lift the world title in Liverpool.
Yvonne Willering knows the hell of losing netball's biggest prize on home ground.
Australia have taken the title from New Zealand.
20 years ago, going down to Australia in the World Cup final in Christchurch, that pressure this time around is on England.
Their local crowd are expecting them to be in that final.
To do that, the Roses must first beat the Ferns, a team that's peaking at the perfect time.
They would have seen that game against Australia, and I think that they'd have renewed respect for where the Silver Ferns sit right now.
If the Kiwis are confident, though, they're not showing it.
We are underdogs.
Coach Nolene Totoa surprised the Aussies beat them by just 1 goal.
Defensively didn't work as a unit, so I want to pull that back and try and make it as simple as possible.
Especially coming up against England's mid-court engine room, powered by Serena Guthrie.
Serena does a great job being the captain, but also she leads from the front and will drive and provide energy.
Where do you think their strengths lie?
Absolutely, their attacking end. They've been together, Houseby and Harton have been together quite a while, and they're showing a great understanding between each other.
Coming into this tournament, New Zealand's ranking wasn't the best. A bit like this weather, really. They were ranked number 4. And if they lose to England, the best they can get to is number 3. But if they beat England, they can vie for a place up here, number 1. Their most likely opponent will be Australia. Australia and New Zealand have contested the final in the last 5 World Championships, but the rivalry has arguably lost its mojo in recent years.
The epic battles between Australia and New Zealand are back.
But in order to get there, there's one big English hurdle in the way.
They're a very bolshy side and very confident, and rightly so. So we've got to put our presence out there right from the start.
A win tonight will not only get the Ferns a berth at the final, but also a bit of redemption for last weekend's cricket final.
To Rugby Union and stand-in All Blacks captain Sam Cane admits there will likely be some rust in his side's first test of the year against Argentina. 5 new faces are all set to debut for the All Blacks, and they want to stay on the right side of history.
In a week so far dominated by Black Caps heartbreak, the All Blacks have somewhat flown under the radar in Buenos Aires.
Yeah, live sport's great, isn't it?
But come tomorrow morning, all eyes will be back on the black jersey. The All Blacks, albeit an experimental 23, very much expected to break the week's losing trend.
We've got such high expectations, and there's public expectations that we'll go out and put on a quality performance. We also know that the first test of the year, there will be a wee bit of rust.
They'll be hoping that disappears quickly. After so far failing to beat the All Blacks in every attempt, Sam Cane's expecting a rejuvenated Pumas side.
With the progression of Jaguares and their improvement in Super Rugby, you'd have to assume some of those strengths will translate into the Argentinian side.
The Pumas are certainly hoping it will. They've showed glimpses of being competitive with the All Blacks in the past, even leading in the early stages of their clash in Nelson last year. And they're cautiously optimistic about their chances this year.
We're not thinking about a hammering. If we win, it's part of a process and not a miracle. We are focused on what we have to do and not thinking any further ahead.
The Pumas not short of belief, but standing in their way is a new-look All Blacks side looking to forge their own path.
There's a good opportunity for a few of us to sort of take a real leadership and ownership of the team.
With more than 400 test caps watching from home, they won't get a better chance than tomorrow.
And to the NRL, after being frustrated with missed field goals last week, the Warriors again had to rely on their kicking ability on the 1918 victory over the Sharks in Wellington.
It's the kind of win the Warriors have been desperate for all season.
Black Green gives the Warriors the lead.
Coach Stephen Kearney summing up the 1-point victory over Sean Johnson's Sharks in one way.
Yeah, it is a relief.
It could easily have been a different story. 2 early Cronulla tries had the home side on the ropes, while the referees once again made some controversial calls.
That was well fought. I think even from this angle you're going to see that is the absolute case.
But sensational solo tries from Blake Green and Cody Nikorima pulled the Warriors back into contention.
Nikorima runs! Nikorima! It's a try!
A moment of madness from Andrew Fafita swung the match. As he went to the sin bin, Chanel Harris-Tavita levelled the scores. Kearney's side going on to grind out the win in a season riddled with frustrating finishes.
We've had probably 6 weeks of those sorts of games.
We've been in every fight, you know, teams haven't been able to get on top of us and squash us completely out of the game, and we haven't been able to get on top of the other team, you know, as well.
The Warriors, feeling they could be pushing the top 6, had more close games swung their way. With time running out to make the finals, they'll hope they keep getting a better rub of the green.
And that ends True Kai Sports for this evening. Up next, with the details for the next 24 hours.
True Kai Sports. True Kai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Money Plus. With you always.
A look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours in the southern region. Mostly fine for Port Moresby, partly cloudy in Daru, cloudy weather in Kerma, cloudy at times for Alotau, and cloudy weather and some showers in Popondetta. To the Mombasa region, cloudy weather and some showers expected in Lae, Wau and Wewak. A shower or two in Vanimo, mostly fine in Madang. To the New Guinea Islands region, mostly fine in Lorengau, cloudy weather and some showers expected in the rest of the region, Keveng, Kokopo, Rabaul, Kimbe and Buka. And to the Highlands region, all the major centres, Mount Hagen, Goroka, Kondiawa, Mendi and Wabe can all expect morning fog clearing, then fine weather.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Money Plus. With you always.
And that has been the news, sport and weather for today, Sunday the 21st of July. On behalf of the entire MTV News team right throughout the country, have a safe working week, pleasant viewing, good night.